Hello everybody, this is Sam. I'm back yet again. I wanted to go back to the simple XP farm that I had built with the smoker because a lot of you guys were asking whether or not you could actually do this build with kelp or potatoes. And in this build I'm going to show you, yes, you can. And I'm going to also reteach you the build just because, a lot of you guys have been wanting to learn this again, and it is really easy to build. So the first thing I would do is start with a double chest. I will show you a double chest build this time, just to add some variety to it and teach you something new. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the hopper and we're going to attach it to the side of the double chest. Now this is going to be where all of your items are going to flow into once they've gone through your smoker. So if you're making kelp, all of your smoked kelp will be going into there, and your baked potatoes, etc. So on top of our hopper, we're going to actually place down our smoker. So our smoker is right there. And then on the side of the smoker, we're going to take a hopper and we're going to shift right click, attach the hopper to the side of the smoker. On top of the smoker, we're going to attach another hopper. And then these are going to be our fuel line right here. And this top one is going to be the line where our product goes into the smoker and then eventually comes out. So on top of the one that goes into it, that is going to be our product, we put a chest. And because we want to make this a double chest, so what I would do is put some sort of temporary block down. So just shift right click next to your hopper, and then you can actually put another chest on top of that and break your temporary block so you have a double chest. And then we're going to do the same with our fuel block. We're going to shift right click to put down the chest there, and then put a temporary block right next to the hopper. That way you can drop a chest, and boom, you now have the double chest version of this. But we're not quite done yet. You want as much XP as you want, and that is a lot. I know you guys want a lot of XP. So what we need to do is actually build the redstone contraption to this build. And it is really easy to build. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out stone, not andesite. I mean, I guess you could use andesite, but I'm going to use stone because, it's so easy to get. And then we're going to take a redstone torch and we're going to place it on the side. So there'll be this block in between that has nothing. And then we're going to take our glass and we're going to shift right click off the back of the smoker. We're going to take redstone dust, drop it on top of the stone block. And then we're going to take out a redstone comparator and we're going to put it so it's facing the back of our build. So as you can tell, the little triangle is facing out back. All right, now you're nearly done. So the last bit here is to actually take another stone block, put it off so that there's this space in between above the redstone dust. And yeah, you're done. So now this is essentially going to check if anything's in here, and it's going to lock up the hopper so that there's still something in here and it doesn't all flow into the chest, so you can grab your stuff and get your XP. So this is the double chest build of this. Now, like I said, a lot of you guys have been wondering, can you use kelp? And yeah, you actually can. So we have kelp out now, but I also want to get some dried kelp blocks out to show you that you can use the dried kelp blocks as fuel as well, because a lot of you guys have actually been suggesting that these builds use dried kelp blocks, because that way it's a little more self-sufficient, especially if you have kelp farms and you're working with kelp. So in this top part here, you can either use potatoes or you can use kelp. It really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna, let's put in a couple of each. I'm gonna drop in some kelp there. I'm gonna drop in some potatoes. You could put in your fish, but you guys have been asking about kelp and potatoes, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So this is actually going to process all of the kelp and potatoes. And the way that these smokers work is they hold the memory of the XP that has gone through it, so that when you grab your product, when it's all locked up and is stuck in here, you're actually going to get a buttload of XP from taking from here. it's going to be really nice. And again, the XP is dependent upon what you're using, what you're smoking. Before we use cod, but a lot of you guys are going to want to use potatoes and kelp because it's so easy to get XP from. And it's really easy to continue to produce it, to be completely honest. So we're just going to let that do its process. Now, again, I would just go about your world doing whatever you want in your day. We have our dried kelp blocks there, and it's still burning away. Now, for sake of this build, I'm just going to take some stuff out of here just so I can show what happens when you indeed run out and this notices that you've run out of product to run through this. So we just got to wait for our potatoes to now burn up in here. And again, if you guys have any questions about these XP farms, feel free to leave a comment below because I would love to help you guys in any way, shape, or form. That last one I made back in July. So hopefully with the double chests and the kelp and potatoes, you guys will be even able to produce a lot more XP with this build. I'm really excited to show you guys this one. And yeah, and again too, those of you guys who want to, find out more builds that I post, you can always hit that subscribe button because I'm posting these on the regular. And when I get updates to the builds I've done in the past, I do videos like this where we actually post an update. So, all right, as you can see, we have the dried kelp that is now stuck inside of this. And why this has happened is because, look, there's no items in our hopper. Now, we do have fuel, but the fuel can stay in there. Once we run out of items in our hopper, the last bit will stay here. And what that allows you to do, because our hopper is locked up, is it allows you to grab that and get the XP. So now I can switch my game mode to survival. We haven't done a lot, okay? So you're not going to get a ton of XP for the amount that I put through there. What I would do is get stacks and stacks and stacks of kelp and potato. Go, mine, go on an adventure, slay the Ender Dragon, watch some more My Hero Academia, binge watch Black Butler, whatever you got to do. I heard the 4th season of Attack on Titan came out. Maybe go watch that. What you're going to do is you're going to go in there and you're going to grab your stuff. And boom, you're going to get levels. Again, I just did a little bit, so I only gained 1 level. But if you run a ton of potatoes and a ton of kelp through there, you're going to get a ton of levels. And that's why we have these double chests. Don't just put a little in here. Put a lot in there. So just get stacks and stacks of kelp and potatoes. And then once you put it back in that chest, it's going to start flowing right back through and you're going to get your end product. Now, because you have the dried kelp, you can build the dried kelp blocks, which you can put back in this chest for fuel. And it becomes pretty self-sufficient. So between kelp and potatoes, you've got yourself a pretty nice XP farm here. I can't say more than this thing is freaking awesome, guys. Just go build this. If you didn't build the single chest version with the cod, go build this now and use kelp and potatoes. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Just fill that thing. All right, this has been Sam. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. If you want to support this channel, I do have the join button now on my YouTube channel, and you can become a member, get your name in the end credits, and I do read my members' names from the end. So I'm still waiting on one, so you could be the first one. Who knows? But when you're there, you're going to also get to choose some of these topics that I do post on this video and more privileges that I cook up. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one. I love this thing. I'm gonna go get lots of kelp and potatoes because I need all the XP I can get.